we're going to ride it, but we have to be very gentle because it has an infection in it, and so they're trying to save it so it doesn't go blind, but it still might go blind. But they're letting us ride it today.
And we're gonna
I'm so excited!
And we're gonna be so careful and calm, right?
Yeah.
Because this horse could get scared.
Yeah.
So we gotta be very calm around Spur and listen to the instructions.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be a great time though.
Yeah. See you later. Hi guys. It's gonna be the best time ever. Riding a horse. And school today is gonna be awesome. Bye.
It had an infection and it might be kind of blind in it. So you don't want to scare it. On this left side, see, if I'm talking to him and touching him, then he's not surprised. But if I just come up without talking to him and touch him real quick, sometimes he gets kind of scared. Okay? Awesome. So you want to ride him?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it in a small corral for a little bit. Let's see how he does. Okay, don't get behind.
Slow. Remember what he said, guys, about being
Okay,
slow.
just a second. I'm gonna lift you up there in just a minute. Wait, who gets to go
Levi,
first?
come here.
Ladies first, right?
Levi, scoot back a little bit.
Come here, Levi. Haley, come out here.
And Haley, don't stand in. Haley, remember what he said about don't stand behind him?
With both hands. I'm gonna lead you around with this horse. Well, I don't think he'll let you ride by himself. Maybe you would. Let's see.
Ah, cool.
Is that so cool?
Yeah, they've been watching and watching. How's his eye doing? Is it looking better? That's the eye. It looks way better.
It looks better.
He's blinking. He never blinked before on your other videos.
I think he's getting some sight back.
Yeah, that's so cool. Look at that, you guys.
He's got a few more days with a steroid antibiotic.
Yeah, his eye looks way better than your first video that you posted. friends invited us over to their farm and we had an absolute blast. We just want to say thank you so much for inviting us over the farm on Route 66, and if you have not yet subscribed to their channel, you really should. They are like the sweetest people ever. Thanks so much for subscribing to our channel as well and for following along, and we really appreciate it. Did you like the real horse today? Yes, you remember the real horse? Wait, where is it? Something happened.
He was standing on that box, Katie, he just did a flip.
Good idea, Levi. That's a good idea. Sit down together.
That was hilarious.
So, thank you, Route 66. Yep.
Maybe one holds the box and one cuts.
Why do you need to cut it?
I don't know why you're cutting.
I know exactly. Stop. You don't need to cut it.
We can use that for the tree.
And it's like, wait a minute, I want to be in on this action.
Okay, you guys want pizza or are you going home?
Wow, it's so pretty. What does it say?
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
That's so pretty. And a card.
Dear family, you guys are the best. So glad we are getting to know you better.
We just got back from the Palmers, and the other thing I need to do tonight, by the way, we're so grateful that the Palmers let us come over and see their farm and ride Spur, the horse that we have been watching. We have been watching this horse get better, and they trimmed its hooves and they're fixing its eye that is possibly blind, but it looks a lot better than the first video they posted, and to see it in person, he's just looking so healthy and amazing. So whoever gets that horse is going to be very lucky owners. So the thing I need to do tonight is feed the sourdough starter. We named our sourdough starter Bubbles. We have a video that you could go back and watch. And this is my first time to have a successful sourdough start. Now, this sourdough starter is 3 weeks old now. And I fed it every single night for 2 weeks. And it wasn't rising, and then it was rising, and it was a little bit of a learning curve, a lot of a learning curve actually, and this was my third time to try sourdough starter and my second time to try baking sourdough bread with the starter that I started. And this one is actually rising and bubbling. So this was its first week in the fridge, and I have a friend who wants part of the starter. Another friend, I gave one friend some of the starter already, and she made her sourdough bread today, and she said it turned out amazing. So I'm really excited that the start that I started is working for not just me, but for others too. So I'm gonna feed it today because it's been 1 week. We're not making sourdough bread tomorrow, but we will be making pie. So we will still have a baking video up this week. It just won't be bread. It will be all the pies that we do, and I'll have links to all of the recipes that we use. But anyway, let's look at this sourdough starter. Like I said, it was its first full week in the fridge. I did not feed it for this first week in the fridge, so this is my feeding it once a week. So this is what the instructions said to do on the blog for maintenance, sourdough maintenance. And even though I'm not making bread tomorrow, I still want to feed it tonight. I just really want to make sure I stay on top of this and keep it alive and good because so far it's going good. So, all right, I'm going to show you the sourdough now. Starter. It's sourdough starter. I just kept it covered. These are what I'm going to put it in for my friend and then for mine in the fridge. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, avid bakers out there, I think you can pull it out and use it anytime you want to make bread. You just need to feed it once a week. So if I wanted to make bread tomorrow, I would just pull it out tonight and let it sit at room temperature, and I think that it would start rising. It is still doing really well. even though it's in the fridge, you can tell the process slows down when you put it in the fridge, but I can still see that it's bubbly and it's still rising and still has very good activated, it's very active. So I'm really excited to see all the bubbles and that it's staying active and continuing to be a good sourdough start. So what I'm going to do is just go back to the instructions of feeding it using 120 grams of sourdough starter, 120 grams of bread flour, and 120 grams of drinking water or filtered water. So I have drinking water and it did work fine. I started this project using distilled water, but after reading all the comments, distilled water is not working as well as regular drinking water or filtered water. So sink water is no good because of chlorine in the water. So I guess you could use sink water, but previously I used sink water, and I think that might be one of the reasons my first attempts at sourdough failed. So, all right, I'm going to feed it now, and I'm going to separate some out for my friend to give tomorrow. I decided to put it in a larger jar because it was about to overflow. And maybe I can just continue to make this batch bigger and bigger. Now I think I'm going to feed what I'm about to give my friend so that it's fed in this jar. I think I will do less than 120 grams. Anyway, I'm gonna do this too. All right, so here's Bubbles, my fed sourdough. I also decided I didn't want to throw out discard anymore or just throw it in the garbage. So I have a jar just for discard, which we made biscuits with this a week and a half ago, and they turned out really good. So, and the biscuit recipe called for a whole cup of discard. So I'm keeping the discard for things like that. I can't bring myself to throw it away. Especially because now it's finished. Before I was just giving it to our pig before it was finished, and so now it's a finished sourdough starter. So anyway, this is the discard. Here's the sourdough that if I want to pull out and make a loaf of bread, I would probably just follow the same recipe I followed last time until I get more knowledgeable and more skilled in this area. And then here is the discard. I mean, not discard. I made another start for my friend. I fed it. I just started with 80 grams of starter, 80 grams of flour, 80 grams of water, so that it was a little bit of a smaller, because I'm going to leave this out on the counter and take this to her tomorrow, because I don't know when she wants to make bread, but it'll still rise and become a really good amount. So I'm really excited. It all smells really good. It doesn't smell, no bad smell or anything, so I'm really, really thrilled. I'll keep using this same saran wrap for my discard, but I will get a new little square for my friends. And I'm just going to put my discard and my sourdough starter in the fridge and keep it there because I'm not baking with it. I might bake with this tomorrow morning for breakfast, but I'm not baking with it until next week or maybe this weekend. We'll see. So this is gonna go to my friend tomorrow. We'll see if it rises. That's always so interesting to me. Last thing we wanted to show is how many quail eggs Haley got today. So we've rotated them. I think you got 3 today, huh? You can set it on this so we don't drop them. There was 6 yesterday. Yep, 3 today. So now how many do you have?
9.
9. It's filling up pretty fast. All right, let's put them back in their little home. The reason we're keeping them in this cooler is we want to keep them at about 65 degrees. 60 to 65 degrees. No, leave it how it was. And we're rotating them and keeping them. We just have one little ice pack down there. Probably should have sprayed this out before we started this project, but it'll be okay. So we are rotating the eggs 3 times a day so that their yolk sacs don't get stuck. And we are replacing the ice with frozen water bottles, and that keeps it at a good temperature until we're ready to incubate them. Because we want to keep them, the fertility as high as we can.
Bye-bye.
Don't know if you can hear, but we are getting the lightest rainfall tonight, and I am so happy about it. If I can show. It is perfect for my garlic. I was going to, I better close the chicken coop. I was going to water the garlic tomorrow by hand, so this is the perfect rainfall for my trees and the garlic. So anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. The dogs love it. I just let them stay out all night. They're happy. I know we had predators in the past, but we have so many that if one gets picked off, that's okay. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We're glad you stopped by our channel. Have a wonderful night or day whenever you're watching this. Bye.